Hey guys. So, today's video isn't an ASMR video, so that's why I'm obviously speaking in my normal everyday voice and not like the soft-spoken or whispering voice. So I just have these in to make sure it's like hearing me well, because I don't know, I'm like still kind of new to this whole like microphone thing. So yeah, I am wearing a shirt, so don't comment some weird shit. Okay, so woo! A lot of people were like, "Oh my gosh, you should have done a Q&A video first," and I totally agree. Sorry about that. I kind of kind of messed up there. I was just so excited to use this microphone that I wanted to make the first video ASMR because like you can do the, both sides thing, and I thought that was really fun. But you're totally right. My bad. It should have been a Q&A to begin with. So that's what we're doing today. We're going to do a Q&A. So basically what I did is I did the little question thing on Instagram so you guys can submit, any questions you have for me. And we're just going to read off some of the ones that I got there. I'm also going to be like addressing really commonly asked questions like about my makeup or about my skincare, because that seems to be like the most commonly asked questions. So unless I'm sure someone would have asked on here. Let's begin, shall we? So Adria GZ, I think is your name. I'll put your name down here as well. Asked me about my workout routine and skincare. So this is good because these are questions I get pretty commonly. Workout routine, I don't really work out. I really hate working out and I'm super, super lazy. I just I don't like drinking soda. Like I haven't drank soda for years and years, and I try to avoid snacking. I only eat, when I'm hungry. I usually am so busy that I forget to eat because of university. So I think that also keeps me trim. But my university has a lot of like hills. It's very uphill to get to my class. So I feel like that really keeps me fit, just walking that every day, sometimes multiple times in one day. So I don't work out. That's basically all I do. And as for skincare, this is the number one question that I get asked, and I understand. Sorry about this. I was scratching and now I have a rash. So I use Accutane, which is a medication for skin. Basically, I had cystic acne since I was like 13 years old, and it was so bad. And I can make another video on that and how I dealt with it and everything like in depth about that if you guys want to see it. So just let me know down below because I have pictures and everything and it's kind of crazy. But I am on Accutane. I'm on my second round of it. And yeah, so I've been taking Accutane. I took it the first time for 8 months when I was 16, and then my acne came back, which does sometimes happen to people. So I'm on the second round of it, and I'm 19 now. And I've been on it for 9 months, and I'm finishing up this week, actually, which is amazing. And I'm so happy. I have a few pimples right now, but you know what? It's so much better compared to what I used to have, so I can't even complain. And as for like products that I use topically, I try not to use things with a lot of chemicals, so I use a lot of Lush products, like the Dark Angels face wash and the Ultra Bland makeup remover. And then I use a toner from Etude House called, what was it called? Wonder Pore. That one's really great. And then I use whatever lotion I have. I keep rotating lotions because I keep running out of one and then I can't find it, so I'll buy another one. So I don't really know what lotion is good to recommend. Just go with whatever works for your skin. So the next question comes from Lorena14. Lorena. I don't know if I'm saying it right. I'm sorry. Fave makeup product, she says. So my favorite makeup product, I would say, has to be mascara, just because like I can put on nothing and just put on mascara and I'll look like myself. But if I don't have mascara on, I look so tired because my eyelashes are naturally like pretty light in color, pretty blonde. So they don't really show up unless I put mascara on. So yeah. I think that's it. And the mascara that I love, this is another question that I get asked a lot, is the Maybelline Colossal Volume. It is the not waterproof one because waterproof kind of makes my eyelashes fall out. And it's so amazing. And then, of course, this isn't a makeup product, but it's something I can't live without. It's Carmex chapstick. I'll get it. I literally can't live with, this is the cherry flavored one, but they're both fine. The one that comes in the tube, you can like apply it in excess, so that's why it looks super glossy. I just wear like a lot at a time. But yeah, I don't wear anything else on my lips. Sometimes I'll put on like Glossier lip gloss if I'm feeling like cute and extra that day, but usually it's only chapstick because I can't really tolerate anything else on my lips. How many siblings do you have? Says Sophie8264. I have one older brother, so yeah, hi if you're watching. What's my height? I'm 5'6", which I don't know what that is in centimeters, but yeah, it's pretty like normal height. It's not short but not tall. It's in between, I guess you'd say. Brittany is back hose. Asks, are you seeing anyone at the moment? No, I've been single like my whole life. I mean, I've had a few relationships here and there, but it's nothing like serious. I just like am not a dating person. Watch me like get a boyfriend like a week after I post. I just like really am super independent and I like to have my own time to myself. And I don't know, so far all the relationships I've had just aren't compatible with that and with my mental health. You know, it always is really taxing on me. So yeah, I'm not seeing anyone right now and I'm not planning on seeing anyone anytime soon, but I'm okay with that. I like my life that way. So it's not like it's a choice for me, you know. Paula Suez, I think I'm saying that right, says tutorial on being unbothered by judging. It's really impossible because people will always criticize you for something. And this is what I always tell myself, you know, like there will never be you can never make everyone happy. So in the end, you just have to focus on making yourself happy because there's always going to be that one person that's going to be like, you're ugly, you're stupid. You know, there's always going to be criticism. So you can't really take it to heart. You just have to do what you know in your heart to be good and true and something that makes you happy. And I find that just being confident in those actions and listening to supporters gets you way further, like emotionally, than if you listen to the hate. And of course, I still get affected by hate, and I always ask myself, like, why do these people feel so strongly about me? Like, what have I ever done? I'm just trying to live my life. But you have to understand that when people, you know, they look at your profile on social media, like whether it be Instagram or Facebook, they create this idea of what you are like in their mind, whether it's true or not. And they take that idea and they run with it. So if they're DMing you, bitch, maybe that's what they think you are, regardless of if they know you or not. And, you know, I think that's a big problem with social media. It's just like assuming you know someone just by what you see them post. But you guys just have to know that half the time when I'm not posting pictures, I'm laying in bed, you know, crying over Kurt Cobain's performances, or like, you know, I don't do anything special with my life. I just go to university. So it's not as glamorous as it seems. It's not as crazy as it seems. And I think it's easy to, you know, concoct like a certain image of someone in your head from social media. So I kind of understand it in a way because I think we all do it. It doesn't make it okay, but yeah, I think it helps to kind of understand their point of view. How do you manage to answer with enthusiasm when people ask you the same questions? Asks Jennifer.lmj. That's actually really funny. Well, of course, like it's hard for me, especially on live, to reiterate myself so many times, especially if I just say something and then 2 seconds later, like someone asks it again. It does get a little frustrating, but I always have to remember, you know, like people may have just joined the live on Instagram or people may have just followed me. So yeah, maybe I've said it a trillion times, but they're just coming into it. So I have to, you know, understand and just respond. It's not their fault that I've already answered it. So yeah, I think that's the best way. But of course, like, it does get frustrating, but there's nothing you can do. And I'm always grateful that people are curious to hear what I have to say or curious like to get advice from me. Like I'm very grateful for that. So like I always try to take a step back and be like, okay, take a breath. You can respond again, you know? _.zana_ says, make a makeup tutorial video, please. And I will. I would love to do that next. Just like this makeup that I do every day. It's pretty simple, but people seem to really want it. I have a pimple scar right there. I'm so sorry. So yeah, I'll make that next. Milkshake.mp4 asks, fave Kurt song. I have to say, like, with Nirvana songs, I think it really depends on my mood, like which one is my favorite at that time or which one I want to listen to at that time. But usually the one I always go back to is Drain You. I think that's like a really good song. It's like so emotional, but also like you want to rock out and just like dance. So I really like that about a lot of Nirvana songs, that they're so hype, but they have like this also really like emotional undertones, if that makes sense. Also like the whole MTV Unplugged album, that whole performance is just insane. So I'm always listening to those as well. Do you have tattoos? Yes, I have 7 tattoos. Oh, this question is by Tivoisen. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Yeah, I have 7. So I could also make a tattoo video, like a tattoo tour, if you guys want to see that, because I'd love to tell you guys like the story behind all of them as well. It's kind of long for this video. I don't want to go like over 20 minutes with this, and it's already at 12, so I'm like, ah! Okay, so this is a question I get a lot too. This is asked by Live in Lexi. She asks, why did I choose to go to school in South Korea? I used to come here very often in the summer when I was 13 because one of my best friends was Korean, and also I was really into K-pop back then, really, really into it. So I used to come here a lot in the summer, almost every summer, and I really, really loved it. I felt like I could, you know, explore safely because it's pretty safe here, and there was a lot to do, and it was pretty cheap, like food-wise. So I really liked it. And when I was applying to colleges, I was looking at all these options, and I was like, yeah, you know, but I really want to take this time to be able to go overseas and explore the world while I'm still really young, and like I can get a visa just from the university, you know, so it'd be convenient as well. So I thought I'd give it a shot and apply to a few in Korea and, you know, see if I get in. I also applied to a few in the United States, so it wasn't like I was betting my whole, you know, hopes on that. But then I ended up getting into Yonsei University with a full ride scholarship. And if you guys know Yonsei, it's a really good university. It's quite well known in South Korea, and I knew about it for a very long time. So when I got that acceptance letter, I was so super excited, and of course I accepted. That's why I'm here now. I'm no longer into K-pop. That's another question that I get really often, and people seem to be confused as to why. And the simplest answer is just I grew out of it. I don't listen to K-pop. I don't watch K-dramas. And people are always like, oh, but you live in Korea. How can you not? I think it's the same as living in America and, you know, not listening to American music. It's the same thing, you know. You can listen to music from other places if you live in a place with certain types of music. You know what I mean? So no hate. Like, if you like K-pop, you do you, boo. I was in it for so many years, but it's just I've moved on, and I have different interests now. I found, you know, the real, the things that interest me for real. So yeah, no hate. Just that's what happened. So 3 trillion. Oh, by the way, I get really red when I speak just because like I'm warming up. So that's why I'm getting red. So I'm sorry, please excuse it. I'm gonna turn on the AC so you might hear it. So 3 trillion asks, do you plan on living elsewhere after university other than New York or Korea? And yeah, actually I do. I really wanna do my master's degree. So I wanna do master's in psychology because I'm hoping to be like a psychoanalyst or a therapist. So I'm hoping to go to either London or Amsterdam. Those are like the 2 cities that I have in mind right now. But I'm not sure. You know, I have 2 more years here, so life could really take me anywhere at this point. So we're just gonna roll with it. there's more tattoo questions, but like I said, I'm gonna make a video on it. So if I didn't respond to it, that's why I'm gonna save it, if that's okay with y'all. Okay, what are you studying at university? This is by Katie J. Yemfa? Am I saying that right? So, I'm studying a major called Comparative Literature and Culture. So basically, it's kind of like liberal arts. Like, it's not super specific. And the reason why is because, so I always wanted to become a writer when I was younger. I love to write. Ever since I was little, I was writing like novels and stories, and I love writing. So I wanted to do that for my major, but so Yonsei has this division called Underwood, and under Underwood, all majors that are there are taught fully in English. So obviously, I was accepted to Underwood, so I had to choose the majors that were under Underwood. So in like main Yonsei, the Korean part, they have other majors, like I'm sure they have like creative writing, I'm sure they have like psychology, but I'm not fluent enough in Korean to be able to follow a class like that. I'm pretty good at Korean, I'm learning, I can read, I can write, I can carry a good conversation, but I'm definitely not fluent enough for that. I would not be confident enough. So I'm doing CLC, which is basically like English. So you do a lot of writing classes. I had a class that was like rock music, which I loved, of course. And there's a lot about culture. There's a lot about philosophy, psychology. So it's a little bit of everything in that field. So yeah. So Jansen Tessa asked, do you feel as confident as you look? Oh, thank you. I think I'm a pretty confident person. But I wasn't always that way, and I feel like I go through waves of it. So sometimes I'll be feeling extra confident, and then I'll just wake up one day and feel like, you know? But I wasn't always this way. I definitely used to be super, super shy. Before I started modeling, I was so shy, and I, like, wouldn't talk to anyone. And then when I started modeling and acting, it really, really brought me out of my shell. And that was when I was, like, 7 years old. So yeah, ever since then I've become more of an extrovert, but I find myself as I get older becoming more and more introverted again. So I definitely try to always stay confident, you know, always stay true to like what I'm actually feeling. But yeah, I don't always feel as confident as I look. And I think that goes for everyone, you know, it's hard to be confident 24/7, but I do try. Yeah, so Selena Lily asks, are you just into modeling or have you considered acting as well? I started acting at the same time that I started modeling. So at 7 years old, I also got a manager for modeling, separate from, for acting, separate from my modeling agency. And I was doing quite a few commercials, and I went to screen tests for a few movies in California. This is when I was like 12. I never did a movie. I did a few episodes of TV shows. I've never found them though. Back then it was a little harder to find because like social media and Instagram wasn't really in like full swing. So I feel like if it had been now, I would have been able to like find it so easily, but it was so hard back then. So yeah, I did a few. It was really fun. I love to act, actually. So Olivia McDermott says, what's your natural hair like and how do you style yours now? So my natural hair, when I was born, I had blonde hair and it was always super, super curly, like ringlets. And then last summer, I dyed my hair way too many times, and it started falling out and my curls weren't nice. So that's why I had a bob for like a year, and that's why it's so short, because I've always had really long hair. So I'm growing it out and my hair is curly. I can attach some pictures here. My hair is curly and I love my curly hair. I think people think I don't just because I straighten it. No, it's not that. It's just that in the summer it's very hard to it's hard to maintain because it gets very frizzy, and also it's very, very hot on my head to have all of that, and I have a lot of hair, to have all of that curled up. It feels like I'm wearing like a helmet sometimes. So that's why I straighten it, just to be able to maintain it easier in the summer. But yeah, sometimes I just wake up and go to school and whatever. But I don't really like do any special thing to my hair to take care of it. I do get highlights. As you can see, like, this is my natural hair color. As I got older, it faded into more of an ash brown rather than blonde. So I started highlighting my hair over the summer. It used to be brown. And I really prefer it this way, I think. Although I like the brown too. But yeah, so all I really do is strain it with a straining iron and use heat protectant, but I don't really do anything crazy. I do use purple shampoo just to keep up the like ashiness of the blonde because I don't really want it to be goldeny. Peachy Ah, I recognize your username. She asked me, do you have a celeb crush? Do they have to be alive is my question. Because if not, then definitely Kurt Cobain, obviously. I honestly don't know. Like, everyone I like is, like, dead. Wow, T. I'm turning red. I'm turning red. Don't laugh. Whew. Okay, this is a question I get a lot, too, from Grace Turek. How long did it take for your skin to clear up on Accutane? So I actually didn't keep track, and I know you guys probably hate me for that. I didn't keep track of how long it took to clear up or how long it took to do the initial purging thing. I say it's probably like a few months, like 2, that's my estimate. But the thing is, like, it will be different for you than it is for me. So even if I did know, like, I don't want you guys to be so set on, like, what happened to me because it's going to be different for you. Side effects, everything. You'll experience different ones than I did. So, yeah. Like I said, I can do another Accutane-related video when I go, where I'll go more in depth with it. I think that would be better because there's so much to talk about. Favorite TV series, American Horror Story. This is from Rachel Hayden, by the way. American Horror Story, I just watched the first episode of the most recent season and I was gagging. Oh my god, like, I need more right now. I'm so excited. Someone just asks, Friends? Just Anna? No, I actually have never had a friend in my life. Yes, I have friends. I live with my best friend, she's my roommate. I promise I have friends. Yeah, I just thought I'd clear that up. So, Iris Jade Aponte, I don't know how to pronounce that, asks, what modeling company did you work for and at what age did you start? So I worked for Ford Models, and I started when I was 7 years old, which is pretty young. Yeah, so Ford Models. I loved them. They were amazing to me. What inspired you to do modeling? This is by Fatima_CC. So my mom was a model, and yeah, she was a model like about when she was my age, and she was amazing. And when I was young, she would always show me her modeling pictures, and I was so inspired. And, you know, when you're little, you always, I don't know if everyone did this, but I would always, like, put on performances for my parents and, like, do little fashion shows in my house, and I really, really loved that. So I begged her, I was like, oh, please, I want to do it. Let's send pictures. And she was like, okay, yeah. So she took pictures of me in the backyard and she sent it to a few agencies, and Ford Models responded back super quickly and they were like, come in, we want to sign you. So it happened super fast and it got so busy that we were living in New Jersey at that time. We moved to New York City to stop commuting in because all the jobs and everything were in New York City. And when I was in elementary school, I had to leave school so often for jobs and auditions, so I had to move to a performing arts school, and I went to Professional Children's School in Manhattan. They were great as well, and they really work with you, like, if you have to be out, like, they'll let you do online assignments and stuff instead, so they were a lifesaver, and honestly, like, these were the best years of my life. Like, modeling was amazing and I always had the best experiences. And for me, when I was young, it wasn't a job. It was me getting to hang out with my friends on set and wear pretty clothes. Because when you're young, you don't even realize, you know, I'm getting paid. And, you know, all the money I made went into a university, college savings account. So now I'm using it to pay for my future. And I'm just so grateful every day that I did that because I have these amazing memories. And yeah, I basically helped out future me. So yeah, it's awesome. Favorite blush, I use NARS Orgasm. I'm not wearing a lot today. I'm literally burning. Like, that happens when I talk a lot. Like, does that happen to you guys? Like, when you talk, you, like, get warm and you get red? I guess it's because, like, I'm really pale too. Yeah. What is a failure? This is by Andres Zanelli. What is a failure that you learned a lot from? In other words, your favorite failure? I think in the modeling and acting business, it's all about failure. Like, you fail most of the auditions you go on. You can go on 10 and you might only book one. So I think the first failures that I experienced were going to different managers for acting and trying to audition for them to, represent me. And a lot of the times they would be like, no, you're not the right fit. We don't see it. And when you're so young, 7, 8 years old, it can affect you greatly. But I think for me, it kind of made me want to work harder. And I finally found a great manager that I loved and worked with for so many years. So I think, always the failure in modeling and acting really pushed me to want to work harder and want to be better. And it never, discouraged me. And I think it's really important to learn failure and learn to use it to your advantage. So I think I've always been grateful for that, because now I'm never like, oh, I failed, like I'm never gonna try again. No, you have to keep trying. Yeah, so this is already like super long. There's still more questions, but like maybe I'll do another Q&A or like a chit chat, get ready with me, where I answer some questions, because I really like it's so long. I'm so sorry. Thank you so much if you sat through all of this. Like I said, let me know if you guys want me to do the tattoo tour video and the Accutane video and makeup tutorial.